Well, it's Saturday the 4th of May, and this is episode 2407 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. I've just finished reading Kyle Chaker's Filter World, and I can't recommend it enough. It covers many of the same themes that 301 has touched on over the years: how algorithms shape our online and offline experiences, how seamless media consumption leads to pervasive anxiety, etc. Shaker's proposed solutions will be familiar to listeners too. So it's been with Filter World as a sort of cognitive background radiation that I've been thinking about systems and going deep this week. Let's explore an example of what it means to go deep into a system. Here's Tobias Revel back in 2018 on the phenomenon of speedrunning. Speedrunning is a model for interacting with systems, playing them properly, not just operating within their confines. Speedrunners play the playing of the game. As we build a world increasingly structured by software and the confines of simulations and predictions, a mentality that shifts to reconstructing the rules and playing in a true sense has enormous potential. If technosocial systems, like games, are worlds, then speedrunners are people who are engaged with a system so completely that they understand the world's physics, like how Neo sees the Matrix. A game has a defined beginning and end, a start and a finish. But when you speedrun a game, how you get from point A to point B is open to interpretation. Players know the code space so well that they set their own constraints on the way in which agency inside of it should be recognized. There are many types of records for the same game, completed with or without glitches, sequence breaks, going out of bounds, with or without tools to aid the player, etc. It might seem strange to ask this about a 35-year-old game, but have you been following developments in competitive Tetris lately? Players have gone deep. For almost the entire game's history, players interacted with the system in a certain way, with a technique called hypertapping, which involves rapidly tapping the buttons of the controller with your thumb and fingers. How fast you spin or move a piece was constrained by how quickly you could physically tap the controller, essentially setting a hard limit on what was humanly possible in the faster, higher levels. In 2020, however, a competitive NES Tetris player named Cheesefish developed a technique known as rolling. Instead of tapping the button with your thumb, you instead place a stationary finger on the D-pad and drum the back of the controller with the fingers of the other hand. 4 fingers tapping in quick succession is obviously faster than using just one. Existing world records were demolished. Fast forward to December 2023. The player, known as Blue Scooty, became the first human player to reach the previously unreached level 157, crashing the game and achieving the kill screen. Since then, 3 other players have made the same achievement. Pixel Andy caused the 3rd ever game crash in February 2024, crushing Blue Scooty's high score by 2.1 million in the process, achieving a new Tetris high score of 8.9 million. Then, last month, player Alex T demolished everything. He currently holds 6 world records and holds the new high score of 16.7 million. He achieved this feat by knowing how the kill screen crash is triggered and avoiding the sequence of steps that caused it to occur. There's a word that we used to use in the 1980s and 90s to describe a user with such a deep understanding of a technological system: a wizard. Tetris players have gone so deep and become such powerful wizards they can avoid the end of the world. Games aren't the only worlds that people can go deep on. We all know people who have gone deep into their interests or subjects of choice: wine, whiskey, music, art, birdwatching, anime, Taylor Swift, or whatever. We used to call these people nerds, I mean connoisseurs. Connoisseur meaning to be acquainted with. People who go so deep on a subject that they become, to others, an expert judge in matters of taste. Going deep also requires time, sustained interest, and attention, all things that are not encouraged or highly prized by our current culture. Gardening comes to mind as another example of a deep activity. Unlike speedrunning, an ecological system is an open one and can never be predicted. But a gardener can still go deep. A garden is a world that can be known. With time and attention, one can become acquainted with the place, how the afternoon light falls in spring, how the water runs after rain. A place, a world within which they have agency, tending, caring, worrying over, and for. In our current world of shallow engagement, perhaps we should all consider going deep on something we enjoy. You don't need to know or care about everything. Step into a world, go deep, and become a wizard.